afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I want to get on and talk specifically about your physical health and your libido and how they're so connected. Because I've talked about this before, but sort of in context of talking about your physical, your mental, your spiritual, and your sexual health combined, and I haven't really broken down each one, and so I thought I would start with the physical one. So I hear from a lot of women, especially who are going through perimenopause and menopause, and there's often a change in libido, and it can go either way, right? So it's not like a given that if you're going through perimenopause or you've gone through menopause that your libido is just going to tank. That's just, it happens to some women, and then the reverse happens to other women. So it's not like it's guaranteed. But if it does happen to you, regardless of whether you're going through perimenopause or any other stage of life, if suddenly, or if just over time you've noticed that you've lost your libido, you've lost your sex drive, then it's important to look at all aspects of your life, because it can be easy in your, say, 40s or your 50s to chalk it up to perimenopause or menopause and just be like, oh, well, that's what it is, and not really have any curiosity beyond that. Or maybe you mention it to your doctor, which I hope you do, and you have a discussion around whether HRT, hormonal replacement therapy, is right for you. Maybe you talk about some other options or whatever, and hopefully your doctor talks to you about your physical health in general. So talking about how important it is to, manage your diet, manage your exercise, manage your stress, all of those things, right? Because all of those things contribute. So when I got into a discussion with someone whose libido had tanked due to perimenopause, I suggested, well, there's other things that you can look at to see if maybe it's possible that other things are contributing while you try to find a doctor who's willing to work with you in regards to HRT, because their doctor was was reluctant to offer that treatment to them. So regardless, my thought always is that if I'm seeking treatment from the medical community, the traditional medical, Western medical community, and I'm not getting the help that I need, then I usually try to take it upon myself to find other ways to manage. Now, I might not completely fix whatever I'm trying to deal with. I might not cure myself, but I certainly am going to try to find ways to manage it. And if that just means that I'm going to stay the same because of some changes that I've made in my lifestyle or whatever, then, at least I'm not losing ground. And then hopefully in the meantime, I could see someone who might offer me some other solutions that might offer more help, right? That's my thinking around these things. And this person pushed back and was like, you're dismissing what I'm saying. I just want testosterone and my doctor won't give it to me. And I'm like, well, fair enough, right? Like, I hear what you're saying. You want testosterone and your doctor won't give it to you. And that's very frustrating. And I talk to so many women who have similar stories of frustration in trying to get their medical needs addressed, in that either their doctor doesn't have the knowledge necessary to deal with different hormonal issues, regardless of whether it's perimenopause or PCOS or endometriosis or any of those things. When you're talking to a GP, they often don't necessarily have the expertise to help you manage that. In which case I would ask for a referral, right? Like, I would ask to be seen by an endocrinologist or someone who specializes in whatever stage of life you're at and whatever you think might be the underlying reason for it. And then at the same time, do some research on your own. The Google search that I did earlier, where I think I asked it, what are some natural ways to increase testosterone? And do you know what the number one thing was that came up? Exercise. Cardio and weightlifting were the two exercises that they suggested for increasing testosterone naturally. So that's just, that was a Google search. And maybe I could do some more searches where I look for more in-depth stuff that maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some, certain foods or, supplements that I could take. I don't know, that. Again, that was just the first thing that came up. And because I wanted to talk about physical health, I wanted to talk about how it was tied to our libido and our sexual health in general. And that was just, one part of it. And that, so when I suggest, well, maybe there are other things that you could be doing in the meantime where you have some control over it while you're waiting to see if you can talk, waiting for a referral, while you're waiting to find the right doctor who will treat you and take you seriously, right? Because we can't just look for one solution to an issue that often has, a multi-pronged approach to it. And we can't get so sort of tunnel visioned in thinking that we need this one specific thing, that we rule out all other things. And that's all I was suggesting, was that, I'm not trying to invalidate your experience, and I'm certainly not trying to suggest that you not continue to seek medical help and advice and treatment. However, in the meantime, maybe there's something you could be doing. Maybe there's some knowledge that you don't have. Because look, I don't know at all. I'm not an expert on all things dealing with, your libido. However, I do know that there's a broad range of things that affect your libido, and your physical health is one of them. When I talked about the 4 pillars, I talk about your physical health as being, one of the most, one of the vital 4 things, right? So it's tied to our libido, because when we're in good health, we're much more likely to be able to have more enjoyable experiences, because when we're more physically active, we have better circulation. When we're more physically active, we have more feel-good hormones being produced and flowing through our body. When we're more active, we produce more testosterone, right? So again, that's going to help with libido. When we're more active, it increases our energy, right? So yeah, at first, when you first start exercising, it can be really energy zapping, but then after you build some tolerance, and you build some what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? So resilience, and you're trying to build up, right? So you're going to get that over time. It's not going to be an instant fix. And yeah, maybe that shot of testosterone that you could take would be more of a dramatic instant fix, or maybe not instant, but you know what I mean. It's going to be more quick response. But again, I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of women who've gone through HRT, and it hasn't had that effect on them. It hasn't really helped with their libido. And that's when they had to look at other things. So we can't put our eggs all in one basket and be like, well, I just need this magic pill or this magic treatment, because A, you might not get it, and hopefully you do. I'm just being realistic. In the world that we live in right now, getting medical care in a lot of places is really challenging. Seeing a GP who's actually knowledgeable about these things, especially for when it comes to women's hormonal health and health in general, it can be hit or miss. So there's lots of barriers to getting that medical help that we're needing. But then I think it's incumbent on us to look at other things that can affect our health and well-being, and to be a little bit more proactive about the things that we can actually control, while we continue to seek treatment. And we press the medical community to come up with better treatments and to make these treatments more widely available to women, right? So while that's going on, though, we can't just be like, in stasis or throw up our hands and give up hope and think, well, there's nothing I can do. I can't get a doctor to see me. I can't get a doctor to prescribe it or whatever. Maybe you just have to do some stuff on your own, right? Or seek out different kinds of help. Maybe you have food allergies that you don't know about, and getting the food allergy testing would help you to bring some more balance into your body. Maybe you have other physical issues that you need to deal with. Maybe some of the meds that you're taking for some of the physical issues that you have are causing you to have a low libido, right? So there's lots of different things that we can look at, but I feel like for some people, you can get sort of down a path to the point where that's the only path that you can see as being the path to solution, when there might be a whole field of solutions or other things that could help manage while you're still seeking that solution. So in no way am I trying to suggest that you not seek medical help. If there's medical help to be had, I hope that you get it. I hope that you get it in a timely fashion. I hope that you get the treatments that you need. And at the same time, I want to encourage you to stay curious and to try to get to know your body and yourself so intimately that you can not only find ways to deal with and manage some of the things that are going on inside of you, but then to also be able to advocate more effectively as well. So that's the beauty of getting to know yourself really, really well and know your physical body. So like when something goes wrong with my physical body, it's not like I always know what's going on. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, that's my, appendix or something. Like, it's not like I'm that finely tuned, but like I have a general sense of like what area it is. I can describe the type of pain it is. I can describe, maybe some of the things that I was doing beforehand that could have led up to that. I sort of try to troubleshoot things before I seek out medical advice to see if, it's something that I can deal with on my own, if it's manageable, right? Like, maybe I am dehydrated and I need to get some electrolytes in me. Maybe I'm needing certain types of food. My iron's a little low, so I need to, you know what I mean? Like, so I can kind of get a sense of those things when they're a little bit out of balance, and then I can sort of advocate for myself when I need medical treatment. It's like, no, I already tried those things, those weren't working, and now I'm looking to you for some more advanced treatment because I've tried all of the sort of the natural routes, and now I need something a little bit more in the pharmaceutical realm, right? So to be able to go in and be able to say, yeah, no, I've changed my diet, I get plenty of exercise, I do this, I do that, to be able to say that I'm doing all of the things that I can do that are manageable within my realm. Now I need your expertise to help me figure this out because these things haven't worked. That's pretty powerful too, right? So that's all I'm encouraging you to do, is maybe get more curious about your own body, become really knowledgeable about your body and what makes it feel good, what makes it feel better, what makes it feel neutral, right? Like just being able to manage some of the things that happen along the way of life are pretty empowering, right? So that's why I kind of talk about this stuff as much as I do, right? I'm not an expert in physiology or anything like that. Well, I used to teach fitness classes, and I'm a yoga instructor or whatever. Like, I do know some of the body mechanics and whatnot. I'm not an expert in that field, and yet I know the benefits that exercise can have on your overall health, your mental health, and of course your sexual health, which is what I am talking about most of the time, because I feel like it's not being talked talked about enough. So I feel like there's tons of coaches and whatnot out there dealing with the physical realm of, you know, trying to fill that niche in that market. But now I want you to sort of take it from like, oh, I know I should work out because it's good for my heart, or I know I should work out for whatever reasons, for, you know, so I don't get osteoporosis one day or whatever. But now I want you to tie it to your sexual health, because I don't think enough people are making that connection. And so when there's issues with their sexual health, they're not necessarily recognizing how connected that is to their physical body and what might be going on inside their physical body that's more than just, you know, I need to replace these hormones or whatever, excuse me. You know what I mean? So like there could be more at play is what I'm trying to say. And then even still, if we want to get even deeper, the physical manifestations of things could be a result of some unhealed emotional wounding as well. So dealing with the physical aspects and kind of getting curious about that can help you maybe deal with some other stuff that might come up that needs some healing as well. So it's all tied together, and I guess that's really what I want to say. But this video was specifically about physical health and its connection to your sexuality, and I hope that helped in some way. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, I have lots of resources. I have a number of friends who are fitness coaches who could do one-on-one consultations with you. I myself consulted a nutritionist last year and had a menu plan and recipes done up for me because I wanted to find a more balanced and healthful way of eating that was going to fuel my workouts and whatnot. So I actually paid someone who's an expert at that to do that. So, you know, there's people out there whose job it is to help you with your physical health. And then, you know, if you find that you're getting all of that sort of in alignment and there's still something not quite working and you've addressed all the physical stuff, then that's where I can help, because it might be more of the emotional piece and we might need to look into that as well. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.